So today we're going to talk about how to fade a lure. Before we start, if you don't understand what luring is, then go check out my other video that I will link somewhere around here. Otherwise this one might not make much sense to you. So one of the main problems that people have when they use a lure in dog training is how to remove it later on. They get really reliant on having that treat in their hand to make their dog do something. Using a lure is a really great way to train pretty much any dog, but when we don't fade it out, it then becomes one of two things. Number one, it becomes a bribe. So your dog knows that they don't have to do anything unless you're holding a treat. They start holding you to ransom, saying, well, I'm not going to sit unless you have a treat in your hand. They know that if they don't sit when you ask, you're then going to produce a treat and ask them to sit again. The second thing is much more common, I believe, and that is that your dog just doesn't understand what you're asking. If every single time you've asked them to sit has involved a treat in the hand, a hand to the nose, the hand going above the head, how do you then expect them to suddenly understand what you're asking if you take away a main part of that? Every other time you've asked, it's involved a piece of food being in front of their nose. When we fade out our lure, we're going to follow a few really simple steps. Step number one, we want the food to stop being visible. Quite likely you've been holding a treat in your hand in a way that your dog can visibly see it. So we're going to move away from that visible cue by putting the treat inside a closed fist. We're going to go through the same steps as before, where we take our hand to our dog's nose and then lure them into whatever position we're doing.
Yay! Good.
Step number two, when your dog is reliable at following your hand without the treat visible, we're going to lie. Now I know that sounds really strange, but just bear with me, okay? What you're going to do is you're going to take your closed fist the same as before, except this time it's going to be empty. You'll still have the smell of a treat there because you've just been holding and handling food with that hand, but there won't actually be a treat in your hand. You're going to take that fist, which is now empty, you're going to take it to your dog's nose, lure them into the position, say yes, and then open your hand and show them that it's empty. Immediately after that, you're going to reach around, grab a treat or two, and give it to them.
Yes!
You're basically saying, yes, I didn't have a treat in my hand, but you still got a treat straight away. We want our dogs to trust us. We want them to believe that even if we're not holding a treat, they're still going to get a reward for following us. When your dog is reliably following your hand without a treat in it, that's when you know that you have successfully faded out your lure. Now that treatless hand that you have been using to previously lure them into a position now becomes a hand signal. And that signal will gradually become less and less obvious the more repetitions you do.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
So that's it. You have now successfully faded out the lure. Woohoo! Yay! Good job! I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave any comments or questions that you may have down below and I will do my very best to respond to them. I'll see you guys later. Bye! What the fuck? Yay! Really retarded. You deserve that. Good job, Rogue.